most of the time, especially during the surge, wherever we would check in, probably 80% of the time, there was usually troops in contact. So that's where we would go first, without a doubt. I mean, if somebody called troops in contact, whatever we were doing, they were kind of getting pinned down in a building, and they just couldn't, they were pinned, and that was my first engagement, so of course that stood out that's the first time I shot a Hellfire at a real person, you know, but for the sake of saving an American, it is a good thing.
Let me ask you this, how did that deployment change you?
It hurt my heart a lot, because I just remember when we go to those memorial services down there was a couple instances. I saw Colonel Goings one time, and he just looked exhausted. He looked broken. On the other hand, I could tell that it had gotten to the troops down there, because they were in the hallway and they were joking about it, but I know that's like the only way that they could deal with it. When we came back, it was like a lot of people never even heard of what was going on. My other deployments after that never added up to that, so all my other deployments were kind of a disappointment after that, I guess. A little story that kind of changed my perspective about the whole thing. When I was in Afghanistan, my brother, who's infantry, was in Iraq. He got hit by mortar shrapnel and got very injured. I met him in Longstool, and I escorted him back to Walter Reed. I stayed with him for about 10 days. I was in the elevator at Walter Reed. I had my uniform with the on while I was there, and there was a guy in the elevator. He was missing a leg. He saw my Red Wolf patch, and he's like, "Red Wolf, you're one of the Wolfpack. I know you from Iraq. I know you." And he hugged me, and just seeing him there at Iraq in Walter Reed missing a leg. Yeah. And, you know, I hugged him, asked him what unit he was in. He's like, "I remember you guys saved my ass so many times." I just had a conversation with him, and he told me about all this stuff, and he was a younger guy. He just gave me a big hug, and he's like, "He was badass," and stuff like that. As soon as he walked away from me, and I was under a lot of stress with the whole thing with my brother and being deployed, him being deployed, as soon as he walked away from me, I just fell apart. And I rarely cry. I just had a breakdown. This poor guy, you know, here he is, and he's happy to see me here. You know, it was just, that changed me.